Shalom. I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Dash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth that rule well. Shalom to the elect scattered through the four corners of the earth. My name is Kodash Paya, and hey, we in time of prophecy. Things are speeding up globally. As you can see this article here, where it states the European Union just issued a dire warning to its 450 million citizens. Stockpile supplies and prepare for disaster. Right? This was updated on March 26, 2025, which was 2 days ago. And we know that the conflict that's going on between, America and Russia is affecting these European countries that also deal business with, Russia and whatnot. Yeah, so, that's what's going down in that, and this is prophecy. How America's allies will start to hate her, right? They shall hate the whore, as the scriptures say. Lord willing, we'll get to it. Because that's going to happen over here too, right? Let's read a little bit. And then what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, they're losing, because I believe Ukraine was like, is the breadbasket for over there. So, but it says, the European Union on Wednesday urged citizens across the continent to stockpile food, water, and other essentials to last at least 72 hours as war, cyber attacks, climate change, so-called, and disease increase the chances of a crisis. Right? And that sounds like a act of war within itself. It says war and cyber attacks. So let there be a cyber attack over there, in these European countries, or however that may go down. There's no businesses running, no, nothing functioning, right? That can affect markets, hospitals. People can't, for certain medicines. Hey, and let's see who they will blame it on, because they talking about Russia could attack them, right? It says the call to action for the EU's 400 million citizens come as the 27 nations bloc rethinks its security, especially after the Trump administration warned that Europe must take more responsibility for it. Right? In recent years, the EU has weathered the 1-9 and the threat from Russia, including its attempt to exploit Europe's dependence on its natural gas to weaken support for Ukraine, right? So I believe they were sending out also some NATO troops to Ukraine, So that's also escalating its conflict with Russia. It says NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has warned that Russia could be capable of launching another attack in Europe by 2030. So, this is all act of war. The Lord said, hey, Lord willing, we'll get it after this. But it says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So eventually, as we approach the third world's woe, as John the Revelator saw, right? that they're gonna shoot missiles over to Babylon the Great, aka America. You know, so because hey, they're gonna side with the mother countries, man. You know, NATO town, but um, this great reset has to come first to usher in a new digital currency. You know, and that's actually in the works. That's good. This is the book of St. Matthew, chapter 24, verse. We could start at 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdoms, Salakia, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine. Right, like I believe what the secretary was talking about with certain diseases, you know, turning into crisis. Right. It says diseases increase the chance of a crisis. So, you know, so if they got to stockpile certain goods, then what? The storehouses will be shut, you know, and things of that nature. You know, cyber attacks, so that means supermarkets are going to be closed too. And that could cause, well, I mean, we'll see how that goes, but we know what it can cause, civil unrest and things like that. It says famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, and we're seeing earthquakes in diverse places. You know, we're seeing volcanic eruptions. You know, we're seeing mass tornadoes and hurricanes happening, right? Because the Lord is bringing His Spirit back on the earth. He's pouring His Spirit back on the earth. Prophecies is shaking things up. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. All these are the beginning of sorrows. That's right. You know, because that's the time of war. What you think it leads to? All right. Let me get I want to get an apocrypha. And also, you just had this guy, I forget his name, but Canada just terminated its military alliance with the U.S. I suspect they'll regret this tantrum. You know, I'm not gonna let the video play, but yeah. So, but real quick, I want to get. I believe it's in 18. Revelation chapter 18 and verse. I could start at 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, which is talking about America, death and mourning and famine. And she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. Right? And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So, That's all I wanted to get on that. Because these because in the time of World War III, when it fully is implemented, after the hour of temptation, you know, when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon. But it's gonna utterly be a wasteland for the U.S. You know what I mean? So that's the smoke of a torment rising up. That the world is gonna see. You know, Trump is moving fast, man. We're bumping shoulders, man, with his own allies, and hey, but we'll see what happens, because now we hearing about like mass bank collapse, financial collapse due to these tariffs. That's surely raising prices and all that, because this is all affecting the trademarks for the U.S. and her allies, which is affecting them. But I believe this is all to happen for an intentional collapse on a global scale, to usher in that digital currency. Because America knows they're so much in debt, so they can't pay it off, you know? But that's how they want to gain that power back, to have that top currency, as when the American dollar was at one point one of the strongest, you know? But anyway, I hope this was edifying, straight to the point. All right, until next time, I'm gonna say shalom.